A Life After April. Chapter 13. An Age for Sin. Written by Gabriel Ndayishimiye. There is a script written for women like me. A quiet disappearance. A vanishing act disguised as dignity. A way of making sure we do not take up too much space, that we do not linger too long at the table of desire. We are meant to slip away gracefully into grandmotherly softness, into respectable silence. The magazines will tell us it is time to embrace our grey hair, to accept the gentle passing of our prime, to age with dignity, which is to say, to age invisibly. The news anchors, the Hollywood screenwriters, the men who have never known the sharp edge of expiration will pretend not to notice that we have been erased from their stories. The church will tell us that love at our age is a devotion, not a hunger. The law will not say our names when it talks about who is worthy of protection, who is worthy of desire. And when we step outside this script, when we demand to be seen, when we refuse to surrender to their silence, they will call us desperate. They will call us obscene. They will call us an embarrassment. But what they mean is, we are still here. What they mean is, we are not done. To leave the hunger behind, to leave the wanting to the young. But I have never been good at following scripts. I was born into a world that told me who I was before I could name myself. A girl, then a woman, then a wife, then a mother. Then what? Then nothing. Then waiting rooms and sensible shoes. Then the quiet exchange of nostalgia with other women who have also been told their time is up. But I have lived too long to pretend I do not remember what it feels like to burn. And I will not be handed a life that does not belong to me. They will not tell you what it feels like to fuck outside the boundaries of permission. They will not tell you about the thrill and the fear, about the way rebellion can taste like both freedom and guilt in the same breath. They will not tell you that it is not just about the body, that it is about history, about defiance, about stepping past the invisible line drawn long before you were born. They will not tell you that the first time you reach for him, you will hear the voices of every woman who obeyed before you, warning, whispering, telling you that this is not what women like you do. They will not tell you that there is no greater rush than ignoring them, that there is no greater loss than wondering, too late, if you should have. They will not tell you what it means to cross a line that was not meant to be crossed, to press your body against a man who was never supposed to be yours, to feel history unravel itself between your legs. They will not tell you how desire does not age, how it does not retire, how it does not dim like a candle left to burn too long. They will not tell you that even now at 76 my body still belongs to me. But I will tell you, I have watched the world try to make men gods, to tell them that hunger is a birthright, that they may devour, that they may take, that a man of 76 who lies beside a woman half his age is an icon of virility, proof that time has only made him more powerful. But a woman of 76 who does the same, she is a tragedy, a grotesque joke, a body desperate to be remembered before it is erased entirely. I know what they think when they see me. I know what they whisper in rooms where I do not belong. They say it is unnatural. They say it is desperate. They say it is sad. But what they mean is, it is a threat. What they mean is, I have refused to go quietly. I have lived through revolutions that never fully arrived. I have stood in streets where women burned their bras, where voices thundered against injustice, where we declared that we would never be silent again. I have seen the civil rights movement break open the lie of equality, only for new chains to be forged in courts and prisons. I have watched Roe v. Wade be won, and then I have watched it unravel. I have seen men in boardrooms and behind podiums take credit for the labour of women, their hands gripping microphones, their suits pressed smooth while we were left with the bruises of the battles we fought. I have seen the same history rewritten, softened, made more palatable for textbooks, for speeches, for anniversaries where the victors pretend they were always on the right side. And I have watched as the promises of change never quite reached women like me, women who were told we were free but still paid the price of our bodies, our hunger, our refusal to disappear. I have lived through the first wave, the second, the third, the promises of liberation that never quite made their way into the bones of women my age. I have watched men become presidents, become senators, become untouchable. I have watched women shrink themselves in the name of survival. And I have watched those same women turn on each other, become the enforcers of the very rules that were written to contain them. They want to believe that the world has changed, that the sins of the past are relics, that history is just something to be remembered, not something that still breathes. But I have watched as laws meant to protect women are quietly stripped away, as they pass judgment on our bodies from podiums and courtrooms, as if we are still in need of their permission. I have seen women of my generation erased from conversations about freedom, as if our fight was won long ago, as if we are not still standing in the wreckage of promises unfulfilled. And when I turn on the news, I see a world pretending not to recognize itself. Women still marching for rights they should have never had to demand, black men still dying for the crime of being seen. They want to believe that history is behind us. But I have lived long enough to know that history is a house we never left. We are only rearranging the furniture, but I know better. I have seen love turned into a crime. I have seen bodies outlawed. I have seen men dragged from their homes for wanting too loudly. I have seen desire policed, legislated, punished. And so when I reach for him, when I let him reach for me, I know exactly what it is I am doing. I am refusing. I am taking. I am stepping into a fire they would rather let burn out. They have always been afraid of women who want too much, who take too much, who refuse to be grateful for whatever scraps of desire the world still allows them. But I will not shrink. I will not soften. I will not apologize, because I have lived the life of a good woman, and I have lived the life of a sinful one. And I will tell you this, only one of them ever felt like living. And I have learned that sin is not what they told me it was. Sin is not the fire and brimstone of my mother's church, not the whispering shame of the women who lowered their voices when they spoke of those who had taken too much. Sin, I have found, is a word men use to keep women afraid of their own appetites. It is what they call us when we do not wait for permission, when we decide our bodies are still ours, when we reach across a line they have drawn and take what they never meant for us to have. But I do not fear sin. I have been its student and its subject, its rebel and its disciple, and I have learned that after all these years, it was never sin at all. It was living.